You know what's crazy? I've been studying nutrition for over 2 decades, and I keep seeing the same thing happen. People over 60 start taking vitamins because they heard they're healthy. And they are. But then they make these mistakes that actually make things worse. 2 weeks ago, I got a call from a 67-year-old man who couldn't understand why his legs felt like concrete blocks. He was doing everything right. Taking his calcium, his iron, his vitamin D. But here's the problem. Those same supplements were quietly stealing his leg strength. Today, I'm going to show you the 6 most dangerous vitamins people take after 60. And more importantly, how they're destroying your leg strength without you even knowing it. Here's what nobody tells you about aging. Your body doesn't just slow down, it becomes incredibly sensitive to imbalances. After 60, your kidneys process nutrients differently. Your gut absorbs minerals at different rates. And your muscles? They need precise ratios of nutrients to stay strong and flexible. But here's where it gets dangerous. Most people think more vitamins equal better health, so they stack supplements. Calcium for bones. Iron for energy. Vitamin D for immunity. Sounds smart, right? Wrong. Your body isn't a bucket you fill with nutrients. It's a delicate chemistry lab. And when you flood it with megadoses of isolated vitamins, you create chaos. Take calcium, for example. You need it for muscle contractions. But without enough magnesium to balance it, your muscles can't relax. The result? Cramps, stiffness, and that heavy feeling in your legs. Or iron, essential for oxygen transport. But too much creates oxidative stress that literally rusts your muscle fibers from the inside out. The worst part? These problems develop slowly. You don't wake up one day with weak legs. It creeps up over months. You blame age. You blame genetics. But the real culprit is sitting in your medicine cabinet. Let's start with the big one, calcium supplements. For decades, doctors told us calcium prevents fractures and keeps bones strong. But here's the twist. Taking calcium without its partner nutrients can actually weaken your muscles and make your legs feel like lead weights. Here's what happens inside your body. When you take a 500 milligram calcium pill, your blood calcium spikes fast. If you don't have enough magnesium, your muscles can't handle this flood. They start to tighten up and refuse to relax properly. Think of magnesium as the off switch for your muscles. Calcium turns them on. Magnesium turns them off. Without enough magnesium, your muscles get stuck in the on position. That's why you get night cramps, tight calves, and that weird stiffness when you walk upstairs. But it gets worse. All that extra calcium doesn't just disappear. It starts settling into your arteries like mineral buildup in old pipes. Your blood vessels stiffen. Less oxygen reaches your leg muscles. And suddenly, walking to the mailbox feels like climbing a mountain. Studies show that people taking high-dose calcium supplements without magnesium have significantly more muscle weakness and arterial stiffness than those who get calcium from food. The fix? Get your calcium from real food first. Dairy, leafy greens, almonds. They come with natural ratios of magnesium and other minerals your muscles actually recognize. Here's a vitamin most people think is harmless. Vitamin A is number 2 on our list. You probably know it's good for vision and immune function. But what you don't know is that too much vitamin A can quietly destroy your bone density and muscle strength. Most multivitamins contain massive doses of vitamin A, sometimes 10,000 IU or more. That's 3 times what your body needs. And unlike water-soluble vitamins that you pee out, vitamin A builds up in your liver and fat tissues. Here's where it gets dangerous for your legs. Excess vitamin A interferes with vitamin D, the nutrient that helps your muscles absorb calcium properly. Without enough active vitamin D, your muscles can't contract with full force. But the real damage happens to your bones. High vitamin A levels actually accelerate bone breakdown. Your bones become more porous and fragile. And when your bones weaken, the muscles around them have to work twice as hard to keep you stable. Think about it. If your hip bones are getting weaker, your glute muscles have to compensate. If your shin bones lose density, your calf muscles strain to keep you balanced. Over time, this extra work exhausts your leg muscles. One study found that people with high vitamin A levels had 40% more hip fractures and significantly weaker leg strength compared to those with normal levels. The scary part? This happens gradually. You don't feel your bones weakening, you just notice your legs getting tired faster. Now, let's talk about iron, the energy vitamin that might be stealing your energy. Most people think iron deficiency is the only problem. But iron overload is actually more common in seniors, especially men and postmenopausal women. Here's why iron becomes toxic to your muscles. Iron is a reactive metal. In small amounts, it carries oxygen to your muscles perfectly. But when you have too much, it creates free radicals that attack your muscle fibers like rust attacking metal. This process is called oxidative stress, and it's devastating to muscle function. Your muscle fibers become inflamed and weak. They can't generate force properly, and they take longer to recover after activity. But here's the truth. Excess iron also blocks magnesium absorption. Remember magnesium? The mineral that helps your muscles relax? When iron crowds it out, your muscles stay tight and cramped. Many seniors unknowingly overdose on iron by taking multivitamins, eating fortified cereals, and supplementing iron all at the same time. Your body can only absorb about 10% of dietary iron, but it absorbs nearly 100% from supplements. The result? Iron builds up in your organs, creates inflammation, and slowly drains the strength from your legs. Studies show that people with high iron stores have significantly more muscle weakness and slower walking speeds than those with optimal levels. The fix? Get tested first. Don't take iron unless blood tests confirm you're actually deficient. Here's a vitamin that sounds harmless but can literally damage your nerves. Vitamin B6. Most people think B vitamins are water-soluble and safe. You just pee out the excess, right? Wrong. B6 is different. When you take too much, it builds up in your tissues and becomes toxic to your nervous system. Here's what happens. B6 helps your nerves communicate with your muscles. In normal amounts, it keeps everything running smoothly. But when levels get too high, it starts attacking the very nerves it's supposed to protect. The damage begins in your feet and works its way up your legs. First, you feel tingling or numbness in your toes. Then that pins and needles sensation spreads to your feet and calves. Your legs start feeling disconnected, like they don't quite know where the ground is. But here's the scary part. Many seniors don't realize they're overdosing on B6. It hides everywhere. Multivitamins, salmon, protein powders, energy drinks, fortified cereals. Stack them up, and you can easily hit 50 milligram or more per day. That's 30 times what your body needs. The recommended amount for seniors is just 1.7 milligrams daily. But I see supplements with 100 milligram per pill. That's like taking 60 days worth at once. Once nerve damage starts, it's not always reversible. Your legs may never feel quite the same. That's why catching this early matters so much. Studies show that people taking high-dose B6 supplements for months develop sensory neuropathy at alarming rates. Their balance suffers, their walking becomes unsteady, and their risk of falls skyrockets. The fix? Check every label in your supplement cabinet. If you see B6 levels above 10 milligram, that's a red flag. Now, let's talk about the two vitamins hiding in your multivitamin that could be sabotaging your leg strength. First up is zinc. Your muscles need zinc to repair and rebuild after activity. But too much zinc creates a domino effect that weakens your entire lower body. Here's how. Excess zinc blocks copper absorption. And copper? It's essential for building strong connective tissue in your muscles and joints. Without enough copper, your muscle fibers become weak and prone to injury. But zinc also interferes with iron absorption, which can lead to anemia and muscle fatigue. And it competes with magnesium, leaving your muscles tight and cramped. Most multivitamins contain 15-30 milligrams of zinc. Add that to zinc from food and other supplements, and you're looking at 50 milligrams or more daily. That's 5 times what you need. Now, let's talk about folic acid. This synthetic form of folate sounds healthy, but it can actually mask serious nutrient deficiencies while weakening your muscles. Here's the problem. Folic acid isn't the same as natural folate from food like edamame and lentils. Your body has to convert it into usable forms. But after 60, this conversion process slows down dramatically. When unconverted folic acid builds up in your system, it blocks natural folate from doing its job. Your muscles can't repair properly, your energy production suffers, and your legs start feeling weak and unstable. Even worse, excess folic acid can mask B12 deficiency, a condition that causes severe muscle weakness and balance problems in seniors. The solution: skip the synthetic multivitamins packed with megadoses. Look for whole food-based supplements with natural forms of nutrients. Or better yet, get your vitamins from actual food. Your muscles don't recognize synthetic chemicals. They recognize the nutrients they've evolved with for thousands of years. Here's the truth. Your legs don't need more vitamins. They need the right balance of nutrients working together. Instead of popping pills, focus on nutrient-dense whole foods. Leafy greens for natural folate and magnesium. Wild salmon for B vitamins and healthy fats. Nuts and seeds for zinc and copper in perfect ratios. If you must supplement, get tested first. Know what you're actually deficient in before adding anything to your routine. And remember the golden rule: food first, supplement second, and only when medically necessary. Your legs carried you through decades of life. They deserve better than synthetic chemicals and megadoses that create more problems than they solve. Start with one simple change. Tomorrow morning, put away the multivitamin and eat a real breakfast instead. Eggs, spinach, avocado. Your muscles will thank you. Because strong legs aren't built with pills. They're built with smart nutrition, regular movement, and respect for your body's natural balance.